Hey, it's Chad from Different Skill, and I'm bringing you a deck profile on my Monarch Sanctuary Alfredo deck, or as we call it here, Walfred, because he's basically a gigantic wall strapped onto a knight. This deck is pretty fun. I mean, I do enjoy playing this deck a lot, so that's why I'm going to do the deck profile. This deck is currently not for sale, unless you really want it. Then we can probably work something out, because money. But anyways, so let's start off with the grade 3s. I'm playing 4 Monarch Sanctuary Alfred, or Liberator Monarch Sanctuary Alfredo, because he's quite powerful. Limit Break, I don't know. It seems really good, but at the same time it seems really whatever sometimes. Its effect is when a Ultimate Break, when Limit Break 5, when you have a Blaster Blade Liberator that's played from the top of your deck, you may give this card plus 10,000 plus 1 crit. Pretty strong. Limit Break 4, Counterblast 3, Soul Blast 2. Send all your Gold Paladin, locked or unlocked, to the top of your deck. And then call the top 5 cards, call the top 5 look at the top 5 cards, and you may call a number of Liberators among them. Man, that was a lot harder to say than I thought it would be. Essentially, you will be calling everything in your deck. I don't think I'm playing non-Liberators at this moment. I used to be. Oh yeah, this card. I'm playing one old Perfect Guard, but that would be the only thing that you wouldn't be calling. You can play full Liberator builds. You can play, whatever you want. There's some goofy things you can do with this card in Garmore Liberator that I've tried online, and it's really inconsistent, but it's really funny to deck out playing this card over and over again. So, yep, it's pretty good. So, yeah. For Ganslot Zenith, your other choice is the original Liberator of the Round Table, Alfred. The main reason why you want to have either this or Liberator Round Table Alfred as your second grade 3 is because after you get your value, so your Blaster Blade Liberators, your Star Rain Trumpeters, and all that, your Monarch, you get a Yosef, you draw a card. After everything that you do, you still need to kill your opponent. And just attacking for he's +1 stage because he gains 5k, and he also gains 5k for each rear guard you have. 1k, 5k for each. He gains 1k for each rear guard you have, so he's almost always 16k. You just keep attacking. So then you'll be like, oh, you need 20 for 2 to pass, and then it's like, okay. But if you have Ganslot Zenith, you can force out a secondary block, because you go attack with the rear guard, attack with this, bring out anything. If you get 11k, you hit for 21. If you bring out anything less than that, you hit for at least 16, unless you get a trigger. So it's not that big of a deal. So it's good that your opponent has to block more. Of course, they have to block less for this, but you have to block for this as well. So it makes them have to output more cards. But yeah, but if you're playing, this card allows you to take out more cards from your opponent's hand. Although if you get unlucky and hit a lot of triggers, it doesn't help that much, because it's like if you get a trigger, they need 5, so it's like whatever. But if you get anything else that's any good, so you get you have some targets you have some good targets. So you have these, you have all your grade 3s and your 3 Zorons, which are 12k attackers. Those are all great. So they'll have to give you at least 15 for a minimum block on the rear guards that you call. Because Ganslot Zenith's effect is that's a lot of talking. Ganslot Zenith is when you declare an attack, you may counterblast 1. Send 1 Gold Paladin to the bottom of your deck, I believe. I'm not sure if it's Liberator only. Counterblast 1 Liberator card. Then select 1 grade 2 or lower Gold Paladin unit. I'm pretty sure it's Gold Paladin because I don't see the bracket Liberator anywhere. And then you send 1 special Counterblast 1. Send 1 grade 2 or lower Gold Paladin to the bottom of your deck. You may check the top card of your deck, and you may call up to 1 of the cards on the top of your deck if it is a Gold Paladin. So it just has to be Gold Paladin, it doesn't have to be Liberator. So if you're playing Dindrains for whatever reason, the Dindrains work. There's that. So, and then this card gains 2k if you have the Solitary Liberator Ganslot underneath it, which is the Break Ride, he's a Break Cross. Although I don't use that card because it kind of sucks. So yeah. overall, it's pretty powerful. And the card you call the top gains 10k. I know it's all up in the all over the place, but it's really, really hard to explain all things. So, I like this more than the Alfred mainly because it feels like you get more value out of this. Because then they have to block extra. Because if you have like round table Alfred and they have a perfect guard, that's great. They don't have a perfect guard, you take about as much, to be honest. This forces that they can't just go perfect guard with a grade 3 and then your big attack is gone and you have 2 littler attacks. This one gives you like a nice spread. That's why I like playing against Zenith. For Star Rain Trumpeter, that was a long segue, or that was a long grade 3, but I have one SP one. It's pretty. So, but what Star Rain Trumpeter does is when you play it, select one Blaster Blade in your soul or your drop zone, shuffle it back into your deck, call the top card of your deck, if it is a Gold Paladin. You know, because you might not be playing Gold Paladins at this point. So it's pretty good. It doesn't cost Counterblast. This is actually also the first time in Gold Paladins, or one of the first times in Gold Paladins, that you can shuffle your deck. So sometimes when you reveal the top card, and if it's a trigger, and you don't want to call it, you don't have to. You can put it to the bottom and you can shuffle it with this. So I'm going to put these out for example later. So next off we have 4 Blaster Blade Liberators, the fun part of this deck. So Blaster Blade Liberator is basically Blaster Blade, except it's good. Counterblast 2. If then this card is placed in the Vanguard or Rearguard zone, you may retire 1 of your opponent's front row rearguards. Quite good. Quite good. Mainly because he has his own Flipper, but that's beside the point. 3 Zaron, 12k attack, 12k attacker. Pretty good. I was going to play 4, but I'd had too many grade 2s, so I didn't play 4. I mean, I could take out 1 Gansalot Zenith or 1 Monarch Alfred for an extra one, but it technically doesn't change anything except for my grade ratio, because I'm not taking out weaker cards for stronger cards, if you get what I mean. So, put these there. For perfect guards, I'm playing 3 Halo Liberator and 1 Halo Shield. Not because there's any bonuses to playing a non-Liberator card in your deck, mainly because this card is cheaper. But it's also the original one. So there. I don't know. Mainly because you don't need that much of special counterblast, because Monarch Sanctuary is 3 counterblast, not 3 gold Liberator counterblast, but it only calls Liberators off the top. The rest of the deck is almost, I'm pretty sure the rest of the deck is, well, not really, but Gansalot Zenith is a special counterblast. You'll never care that this is in your damage zone, because you can just use it for Blaster Blade, because Blaster Blade is just generic counterblast. So, yeah, 4. You'll need them. Your hand is big. 2 Barkall Liberator. This is just personal preference. Some people don't play it. They think it's bad. I think that because your starter, it does not have to be set right behind your Vanguard. Because some decks, like, you just have to put it behind your Vanguard because, you know, there's no reason not to, because it's an on-hit ability like Lin Chu. But this is like, you can use it anywhere. So when you ride, I always put it to the side, because if you go ride Blaster Blade Liberator, call Barkall Liberator, and they attack, they have to block this, or else you get a free card. And if you hit a Yosef, more free cards. So that's why. So what does Barkall Liberator do? When you're boosting Blaster Blade Liberator and it hits, you try to the top 3 cards of your deck, and you may call 1 card. You do not soul charges or anything. The card you call comes in rest. So it's pretty cheap way to get some value. It's not bad. If they ride a perfect guard and you do this, you go like, perfect guard me, or you're taking this. So yeah, there's that. I like it. For Yosef, some people don't play Yosef because you just don't have the soul to use Yosef. I fully agree. So these are interchangeable, along with this for Bruno's, and what was the other card? There was another card that was semi-good, but I don't recall off the top of my head. But I believe it's just Bruno. I'm getting some Brunos later, so I'm going to be putting Brunos in here. Probably going to be like two of these, 2 Brunos and 2 of those. Mainly because I just love Barkall Liberator a lot. So, Yosef is when you play it, S special Soul Blast. So Soul Blast 1 Liberator, draw a card. It's good. It's a din drain. Now the reason why this deck is really stupid is because of Balin, the White Rainbow Liberator. When you play when you play a Blaster Blade Liberator in your rear guard zone, you may unflip a damage. So mainly, essentially if you have 2 of these, you play it, you kill a card for free. You have 3 of these, you unflip 1 damage, you kill a card. Hey. normally you'll have 1 or 2. 3 is kind of like, it's so overkill. Like you will never use that much counterblast in this deck. So if you go like, oh man, I really need 3, you don't. If you don't have 2, that's almost more than enough. If you have only 1, that's still pretty good. Like you just go, oh, kill your guy, and then later on in the game you go, kill your guy for free. Then you double intercept with these, you play this, you shuffle, and you call stuff. So it's just, you just get so much card advantage in this deck. But I'll show you like an example hand. So like the reason I'm gonna take this out though and take one of these out because I don't want to try to fish for them. But like for example, you go like yada yada yada, start your game and what's not. Actually, I'll shuffle these in. Let's see. So let's see if I can draw one. Oh god, my hands are so fucking tiny. I can't shuffle this stupid deck because my hands are so freaking small. Most people don't realize that my hand is like here, like next to a Vanguard card. This is how big my hand is. It's fucking tiny. Okay, anyways, so I'm gonna draw my hand. So like this is not a horrible hand. I'd probably keep a Perfect Guard and a Balin because if I have to, I will ride the Perfect Guard just to keep the Balin because the Balin is quite important in this game. But since this deck was not shuffled very well, I'm probably gonna get great stuck. But as I say that, I'm gonna draw 3 grade 3s right off here. Okay, so you have a Yosef, so I'd probably ride the Yosef. And of course you put down over the Da. Then you take a damage, draw a card. Yeah, you probably don't want to play anything else. Because then if you ride Monarch, you get more value off of it. So you just attack, check, that's my Monarch. Take 2 damage. Let's say I got critted. Take damage. So then, oh sweet, a Balin. So then you can just ride, soul charge this. And then what the starter's effect? Oh, I didn't even go through the starter. The starter's effect is when you can soul charge it and send 1 Blaster Blade Liberator from your deck to the top of your deck and shuffle. Well, like you shuffle first, like this, and then you put it back on top of your deck. So yeah, then you have something like this going on. You can choose to play another Balin if you really want to, so then you can unflip more damage. So see, oh no, I have a non-liberator. Let's just flip that over because it doesn't matter because you don't need the liberator. So. Soul Charge, Soul Blast 2, send all your rear guards to the top of your deck, then call the top 5, look amongst the top 5, and this is some pretty BS stuff. It's gross. Then you unflip 3, flip over 2, pop their card, and now you have like full field again. Yay! And you keep your hand. Then you attack with stuff, and then you turn drive stuff, attack. You intercept with this always. For some reason they decide to attack your rear guard. Grade 3, and then you block the rest of it with a Perfect Guard, I guess. But like I said, you don't need 3 of these. It's just really disgusting if you do. So here's going to be an example. If I hit a trigger, I won't call it. So you send that back from your drop zone back to the top of your deck, like so. Shuffle, and then you check the top card of your deck. It's a Balin, so you'll play it for no reason because you can. Most of the time, if you get a grade 2, best case scenario is that you do get a grade 2, so I'm just going to hope I get a grade 2. I'm just going to grab a grade 2. So you grab one of these, okay? The best point for having a grade 2 is that you go double intercept, and if you have another Blaster Blade Liberator, you just play another one and you fill up your field again. So, grade 2s are really good in this deck. Like, mucho good. So yeah, that's kind of how the deck goes. You really don't need that many Balins, because the only time you're going to spend Counterblast. Oh, and also, after you ride Monarch, Sanctuary, Alfred, you're probably not ever going to use this effect against them unless you ride him again. But at that point, you probably don't need it unless you get like Novelled and you have no field anymore, then you can refill it. But generally, you want to play a slower game. So that was a pretty long video. I'm going to cut that off now. Hope you guys enjoyed. I will be playing Seekers when they come out. I have already ordered all my stuff for Seekers, so I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.